Have you ever felt like your AI assistant is just kind of waiting for you? What if it could actually jump in and figure out what you need before you even think to ask? Well, today we're going to look at a new system that's trying to do exactly that. It's called ProAgent, the AI that helps before you ask. Right now, our relationship with AI is pretty one-sided. Think about it. We talk, it listens. Whether you're asking for the weather or telling it to play your favorite song, you're always the one who has to start the conversation. The AI is incredibly powerful, don't get me wrong, but it's fundamentally passive. It just sits there waiting for you to give it explicit instructions. And all that waiting, it actually creates a surprising amount of hidden work for us. Researchers even have a name for this, the burden of reactive AI. I mean, there's the obvious physical work, right? You gotta pull out your phone, unlock it, find the right app, type everything out. But the real drain, the real killer, is the cognitive workload. It's all the mental energy you spend just knowing what to ask, how to phrase it, and honestly, just remembering to do it in the first place. So let's just boil it down to the core problem. Our AI assistants today are passive. They have all this amazing power, but 100% of the responsibility to unlock it falls right on your shoulders. You know, the perfect way to think about it is like a vending machine. It's stocked with all this great stuff, but it's not going to do anything for you. You have to walk up to it, know exactly what you want, punch in the right code, and only then do you get something. That machine is never going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you look a little thirsty. Nope. The whole thing is started by you, on your terms. So how do we fix this? Well, this is where things get really exciting. We need a complete shift in thinking, from reactive to proactive. What if we could just flip this entire model on its head? What if your AI could actually anticipate what you need, maybe even before you do? And that brings us to the core concept here, the proactive agent. Now, the technical definition is an AI that autonomously perceives the environment, anticipates user needs, and delivers timely, unintrusive assistance without explicit instructions. The absolute keywords to focus on there are autonomously and anticipates. This thing isn't waiting for you. It's actively out there looking for opportunities to help. And this right here shows the difference perfectly. On the left, that's the reactive world we all live in now. The user has to start everything to get a result. But look at the right side. In the proactive model, the world itself becomes the trigger. What you see, what you hear, where you are, all of that is the input. The agent perceives that context, and then it decides to help. It's a total reversal of how the information flows. Okay, so how does ProAgent actually pull this off? It sounds a little bit like magic, but it's really just a very clever system. So let's pull back the curtain and break down how this proactive help actually works. It all boils down to a pretty simple three-step process. First, it's got to sense the world around you, but intelligently. We'll call that smart sensing. Second, it needs to take all that data and build a complete picture. And third, based on that picture, it has to decide if and how it should step in to help. So let's look at each one. Step 1, smart sensing. Now this is absolutely crucial to making this work on a real device without killing your battery in 5 minutes. You can't just have the camera and microphone running 24/7. So ProAgent is way more efficient. It uses low-power, always-on sensors like the motion sensor in your phone as a kind of trigger. So when it detects a big change, say you stop walking and raise your phone, that's when it says, okay, something's up, and it fires up the power-hungry sensors like the camera to get the full story. Okay, so step 2 is where it gets really clever. This is where ProAgent builds the full picture. And it does that by fusing together two different kinds of information. You've got the sensory contexts. That's the raw data about what's happening around you right now. But then, and this is the game changer, it combines that with your persona contexts. That's the deeper information about you, your habits, your regular patterns, your preferences. And here's a perfect real-world example of that in action. The sensory context is simple. Your phone knows you're standing at a bus stop. A normal reactive AI doesn't know anything else, but ProAgent also looks at your persona, and it might know that you're a daily commuter. So it combines those two facts, at a bus stop and is a commuter, and makes a highly accurate prediction. You almost certainly want to know when the next bus is going to get here. This all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But the big question is always the same. Does it actually work in the real world? So let's take a look at how ProAgent actually performed when they put it to the test. The results are pretty staggering. In predicting what a user actually needs at any given moment, ProAgent was 33.4 percentage points more accurate than the baseline models. Now, that's not just a small improvement. That is a massive, massive leap in an AI's ability to understand what a person really wants. This bar chart really puts that number into perspective. As you can see, the baseline models were hovering around 50% accuracy, which is basically a coin toss. It's guessing. ProAgent, on the other hand, is getting it right over 83% of the time. That is the difference between an assistant that's occasionally useful and one that is consistently, reliably helpful. And here's the real kicker. This isn't just about technical accuracy, it's about how it feels to the user. A user study found that ProAgent improved average satisfaction by nearly 39%. So people didn't just think it was more accurate, they genuinely preferred the experience of being helped proactively. They liked it more. So what does a system like this really mean for the future? Let's zoom out and think about the implications, because this is all about creating truly seamless, effortless help in our daily lives. The applications are just incredibly exciting to think about. Imagine being in a store, you just look at a product, and ProAgent instantly flashes online reviews and price comparisons right where you can see them. Or you're just walking towards a subway station, and it tells you the next train is 2 minutes away. You could even get real-time dietary advice when looking at a menu, or it could help someone who is visually impaired by describing the world around them. The possibilities are huge. Ultimately, this is the vision. It's a future where our technology isn't just a tool we command, but a true partner that understands our context, sees our world, and just offers a helping hand, without us ever having to break our stride. So I'll leave you with the same question we started with, but now with a whole new perspective. What if your technology could help you before you even asked? ProAgent suggests that future might be much, much closer than we think.